Hey guys, it's me, Wanda, the solo traveler. So I can't tell you how many people come back from their cruise vacation and receive their final bill only to find out that there are charges that they did not approve of or services that they never got on their bill. So I'm hoping that this video will help for those of you who are cruising the first time, or maybe you haven't cruised in a while, and even if you had, maybe you'll learn a thing or two, hopefully. I guess I should start by saying everything that's paid for on the cruise ship is done through your sign and sail card, the card that you get when you're on board. And so somehow or another, there has to be a form of payment attached to it. It doesn't have to be a credit card. It doesn't have to be a debit card. It can be cash. It can be a gift card. Now, those things you may not be able to do online. You might have to wait to do when you get to guest services or when you get on the cruise ship, but you do not have to give them your credit or debit card number to attach to your account. And then there's some people that say, I'm not planning on spending any money anyway, and that's quite all right. You don't have to attach any form of payment, but know that you can't purchase anything on the ship if you don't have something attached to your sign and sail card. And you can do that anytime prior to or throughout your voyage. I strongly suggest that you not use a debit card, because if there happens to be a discrepancy somewhere along the line and you're using a credit card, at least you'll have a better chance at filing a dispute. Not only that, your debit card is connected to your savings and your checkings account. I don't know about you, but I don't want anybody touching my money. So I don't give them my debit card number. It's always for me either a gift card. I used to do cash, and now normally I do a credit card. So having said that, also know where your money is going every step of the cruise. Because it's easy, you get on a cruise, you're having a good time, you start signing things and spending money and passing your sign and sale card and not realizing those things add up. You buy some sushi here, or you get some gelato here, and you buy a drink, or you go into a specialty restaurant, and you're not really cognizant all the time of the money that you're spending. So my suggestion is every day, take a look at your account summary. Now, pretty much all the ships now that I know of, you can check your account summary through the app that they use. And if you are on a ship that they're not yet at savvy, because I was recently on one that didn't have the app, there's usually a channel where you can check your account balance every day. Or you can go to guest services if you need to, or there are usually some digital displays around the ship. Check your balance, keep an eye on your balance, because what might happen is you might order something, and let's say you order a service on board. Maybe you got a foot massage, or maybe you purchased something from one of the shops, and 2-3 days later, maybe 4 days later, you've forgotten about the purchase. And you look at the bill and you're wondering, what is this purchase for? And it may even come onto your bill as a description of something completely different than what you thought you paid for. And so you might be just thinking that this is something that I didn't get, a service or an item that I did not purchase, when in actuality you did. So at least if you're keeping track of your account summary every single day, and there is a possible discrepancy, you can get that cleared up while you are on board. So also keep in mind, whenever you are at one of the specialty venues on board, even if you paid for it, let's say you've prepaid for a specialty restaurant, or maybe you've paid for the drink package, and you still get a receipt at the end of your service, right? Or know that one of the reasons that so a couple of reasons why they give you the receipt. First, they need to keep track of, okay, yes, you've used one of your specialty packages, or you're using your beverage package. But the other reason is they would like for you to give an additional tip. Now, you've already paid for the service, and more than likely, with most of the lines, you've already paid a gratuity as well for, let's just say, that particular service. But they would like additional services. They're not going to turn down money. So there's usually a spot on the receipt that has your total, and your total may be zero because, again, you've paid for it. But then under that total, you'll see a space that says tip, additional tip or tip, and then total again, and then you have to sign. Do not sign a receipt with any blank spaces between the total or the subtotal and your signature. Because, and I do this even at home, you don't want to run the chance of there being a blank space, you've signed it, somebody goes in and adds $5, $10, $20 gratuity that you didn't sanction, but your signature is on it, and then you're trying to dispute something that you might have a hard time disputing. So I always, if I'm given a $5, $10, whatever the tip is, I put that in, put the total, and then I sign. If I'm not given a tip because I've already tipped prior to, I make sure I put an X in that slot so no one else can come back behind me and then add something different. The other thing is, and probably one of the most important, is the last day of your cruise. Prior to the day of disembarkation, make sure, if you've not checked it all through your cruise, check that last day of what your bill summary is. Because if there is some type of problem with your bill, it is best to settle it while you're on board. If you try to wait until after the fact, you will probably run into problems, and it could take weeks and maybe even months to get your money back, and you may not get your money back because then you have to prove that you did not actually get the services or the products that you've claimed that you didn't get. So always, always, always check it. If there's something wrong with the app, because I know I've been on some cruise lines and they, at a certain time, you're not able to really get into your account summary. And if maybe you can't get into it on the TV or the digital displays on the cruise ship, then go to guest services and say, I need a final copy of my bill with the date. That way, at least you have something in hand. And if something comes out later on, then you have a leg to stand on. So don't leave the ship without seeing what your final bill is. And then if all else fails, and yes, you get a bill after the fact and they say, oh, a towel was missing, or a beach towel or a robe. I've never had that happen, but I know that there are people that have had that happen. You know, then if you did have your card connected to it, your credit card, you can file a dispute or you go through the cruise line to try to get that item removed. Anyway, that's all I needed to share with you, because I know that there are several people who are now disputing charges because they did not really take heed and check their accounts diligently while on the cruise ship. Why? Because we're having so much fun, and those charges do add up. And the industry knows those charges add up, and they know people are not really paying attention. You're buying a photo here and purchasing this there and not really making the calculations until that bill comes and hits you at the end. Hopefully this helps you, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. That is it for me. Happy cruising. Toodles.